YouTube? It's your boy Young Sketchy Young Flex, and today I bring you my week 8 PGL battle plus a small update. The reason we're doing this on Showdown is because, ironically, something was going on with my capture card, so I had to go send it back to get it repaired, and hopefully that won't take too long. But knowing Cat's Kitty, yeah, I'm not gonna get it back for at least a month. So for the rest of the regular season, I will be on Showdown. And if I make it to the postseason, it will be on Showdown as well. By going to this battle, we're actually, and this is the other thing I got to address because I already know the last 2 weeks I haven't had 2 battles, but in the last 2 weeks we lost against Lax 1-0, and then we beat Gearheart in what can only be described as a marathon game, because that game went on for 158 turns, but we managed to pull out a 3-0 victory. So we're sitting at, I believe, 4-2? No, 4-3. And we're actually in the driver's seat for our own playoff spot. Which thankfully, we control our own destiny. So as you see, he brought Togekiss, Latias, Cobalion, Tangrowth, Mega Slowbro, and Rotom, as I brought Sylveon, Skarmory, Kieran Black, the backbone of this team, Jolteon, Alomola, and Mega Lopunny. This is actually a especially defensive set with Toxic, Heal Bell, Protect, and Hyper Voice. Just in case he did want to bring T-Tar, and like a combination of T-Tar and Latias and Slowbro, which all 3 Sylveon can deal with. Plus Rotom as well. As you see, he leads Tangrowth and I lead Sylveon, and I'm thinking right here, if I can get a Toxic off in this thing early game, that is going to be significantly, a significant thing about this game, because now I don't have to worry about this thing staying in for long periods of time. Plus, with Regenerator, it will not actually, it will be only recovering but so much. Plus, giving a status on this thing is always critical. So, as you see, we Misty Toxic on the first turn as he Giga Drains. Now, that's very unfortunate, because if I'd been able to just Toxic this thing off in the jump, I would have been in a much better position to win this game, because then he wouldn't be switching in and out so much. Well, I'd be forcing him to switch in and out so much, and then I can make the prediction game so much easier on myself. As he, I think I'm just hyper voicing here. Now, that damage indicates that he's not especially defensive in any way. He is going to be more of an offensive variant in this case. I think it's like 3 attacks plus Stealth Rocks. But I do not want to stay in here and catch an Iron Head, as I do believe I switch out into Alomola, thinking he would stay in. Thing about this Togekiss is that it's a pair flinching set, as he will go for the Air Slash here back on the Sylveon, and then he will T-Wave again, I believe, as I get the parry this turn. So that's very unfortunate. Because now I'm forced to stay in here. I could go to Kieran Black in this case, but I think I just have to stay in, just try to get the Heal Bell off, as he will paraflinch this thing to death. Well, at least attempt to. So I think I made a great play here into going into Skarmory to resist it. Now, I think he switches out, but I think him switching out in this case was a bad decision, because he could have just predicted that and gone for the T-Wave and just Air Slash this, and then that's 3 of my monsters that are T-Wave, and I cannot do anything about it. But he switches into Mega Slowbro, which gets phased out by Whirlwind, so it brings him back in this. Now, I think I like in this situation I do have an advantage, because I am carrying Brave Bird in this situation, but I do switch out the Sylveon just to get my Heal Bell off. As he does Earthquake, as I am able to get a Heal Bell off. I think I'll switch to Alomola. No, I switch back to Skarmory just to Brave Bird and predict the Earthquake again, as I think he's going to knock it out. As I can set up rocks for this game and turns out, that is all I needed for this game. I mean, it helps with what I had to deal with. Now, he doesn't have a Rocks Resist, Bar, Cobalion, and Tangrowth. Well, she has 3. Now, scratch that. He has 3 resists. But, I mean, it forces him to play the careful game of switching in and out. Now, had I actually had Roost on the Skarmory, this game would have been a lot easier to deal with. As I do believe he goes for the drink, he switches out into Slowbro, as I do Brave Bird it. That's 21, that's a nice percent, but I will switch out to Alomola Mola on the Mega Evolving in Calm Mind. So what I'm going to do is I miss a Toxic again. See, missing the second Toxic, like this, the whole game plan was to get a Toxic on Tangrowth and Slowbro just to will him down and to force him to keep switching in and out, as he is able to get up a free Calm Mind, as you'll see what's coming up. As I do finally land a Toxic final, as he was Scald, that does 38%, way more than I thought it was going to do. And I do believe I go for the Wish as he goes for the rest. Now this is telling me this is a Rest Talk Mega Slowbro, which with Calm Mind, so this thing has 1 attack. I've seen all 4 of its attacks. At this moment, I know all 4 of its attacks. It's Sleep Talk, Rest, Calm Mind, and Scald. So I went for a Wish, thinking I need to go ahead and phase this out. I really do. As I switch back into Sylveon, actually I switch into Sylveon first, just to get the, but he, blah. So I switch into Sylveon just to get the health back up. He goes for Sleep Talk, and he rolls on Rest, which is great because if he had got a Scald off, that would have been a dead Sylveon, which would have made this game a lot easier for him because Latias and Cobalion would have just won him the game. But he rolls in Rest. I get Wish back up on this, and now it's nice and healthy again. As I do switch to Alomola Mola just to get another Wish off, as he lands on Rest again, which is unfortunate for him, which I think makes up for the two missed Toxic in this game. And you'll see why this is key, because I think he does go for a Calm Mind here, as I go for another Toxic, which is going to force him to Rest again, and I can switch into Skarm on the potential Wish. I predict this correctly. I believe so. I switch into Skarm. He goes for a Rest. I get my Skarmory back up to 30 level. So now this puts me at a great advantage, because now I can just Whirlwind this threat out. As he lands on Rest again, I'll Whirlwind out, and it lands on Tangrowth. Now I could put a dent in this Tangrowth like I did, and I think he goes for Giga Drain. Yeah, which I do resist. As I will switch out the Jolteon, and just to predict this, and had I predicted this correctly, actually, let me talk about this. So I'm thinking he's either going to stay in or go into Latios, which if you had gone into Latios, would have made this game a lot easier. But he goes into Rotom. Now that indicates that to me that he's not Eviolite, because he would have taken out way better if he was Eviolite. As he does switch out back into Latios, I do believe I get off the HP Fire here. Yeah. If I gotten off the HP, if this was HP Ice instead of HP Fire, this would have been a dead Latios. It would have been a 2-hit KO on Latios. Again, making this game a lot easier for Sylveon. Now, here, I do believe I go for the Shadow Ball, because Shadow Ball actually had a chance to KO him from this range, depending on the roll. And I knew if it didn't kill it, this would be a dead Jolteon. And I knew from the way he brought it in, this thing was Life Orb. So, I mean, I took a risk. I went for the Shadow Ball. I did not get the kill. And this was very unfortunate, because now this is a dead Jolteon. So he goes up 6-5. As I'll switch into Sylveon, he'll Side Shock, not killing me, but he killed himself with the Life Orb recoil. So now this game is 5-5. As he brings in Cobalion here, I do think I switch into Alomola on this play. Yeah, predicting the Iron Head as I do predict that correctly. And as he switches back into Mega Slowbro, I do believe I go for a Swish just to heal back up the Sylveon. Yeah. As he, yeah. As our Hyper Voice, and it does 48%. Now, 48% tells me now he's going to go for a rest. If he predicted this correct, which he did, he went for a rest on his turn. But that's telling me now this thing just become a 3-hit KO potential, 2 or 3 KO predicted on the roll. And I do not get the burn, as I will Hyper Voice again, which will force him to either switch out or kill this thing off. But he makes the correct play and switches, as I will Hyper Voice, but I know this T-Wave is coming. I actually go for the Toxic, which it finally lands in this damn Togekiss. Finally. Now, it puts it, this thing would have been O-code from a Kyurem Black Fusion Bolt. Plus, this thing is Assault Vest, so it's going to take this these hits pretty well. As he goes for it does a minimum 19. Now, I was thinking, well, if he goes into Tingrowth, that's a 2-hit KO. He goes into Cobalion, that's a 2-hit KO. If he goes into Slowbro, that's a potential 2-hit KO. It kills Rotom from where it's at, I do believe. And so I think he knew that, and he stayed in just to take this Fusion Bolt to see what I was going to do, thinking I was going to lock myself in, which I don't think he predicted that correctly. As I was switching to Alomola, which actually takes this thing pretty well. Alomola outly walls Cobalion because of Wish and Protect and Scald, which if it got a burn on it, that means this is pretty much a useless Cobalion at this point. It also tells me that he does not have Stealth Rocks in this thing, which again is perfect for me because now he doesn't have both his defog options are gone, so rocks are here to stay up on the game. His only spin blocker, which if you actually know my draft, I do not carry. Oh, I carry Sandslash, which is a spinner, but it obviously didn't bring him this game. This tells me now that Mega Lopunny can come in and win me the game. Bar anything happening. I outspeed his team. As long as I can whittle down the Tingrowth, it's gonna put a dent in this team. As I do believe I pick up a Skull Kill here. Yeah. As Alomola makes this a 5-3 game. At this point, Alomola has done its job. It's doing its job correctly. The only thing it really has to do is just wall this Cobalion and keep it at bay. Because if I allow it to KO Sylveon or Kyurem Black, I really don't have much options past that point. Slowbro can come in and calm Mind Up and just destroy because I do not carry Thunder Punch on Lopunny. I opted for Ice Punch just for things like Togekiss, Tingrowth, and Latios. As he switches in this is what it becomes. Because I do predict this correctly. He goes for the Giga Drain. I could easily just go for the Brave Bird, forcing him to switch out next turn. And as he knocks off, and as the Slowbro does go down the Stealth Rocks. Now I didn't realize he had Volt Switch. I know he had Iron Head, Close Combat, Volt Switch. I did not know his fourth move, which becomes irrelevant. So now it makes it a 4-2 game, and his last two mons are Cobalion and Tingrowth. Mega Lopunny actually just comes in. He comes in and takes a Fake Out. Now putting it within range of a Drain Punch. Ice Punch pretty much kills. Drain Punch puts this in an Ice Punch range, and I am able to finish the game off with a Drain Punch. Well, I think, yeah, Drain Punch. And that is it. I am 5-3 and in a very, very good, very excellent playoff spot. I am 5-3. And pretty much, essentially, this is what happens. I just need to win a game. At this point, I play the United Kingler and Professor Willow next week, followed by the rematch of me versus Vinny and the New York Showmans. If I'm correct, and I usually go off the playoff spots at this point of the season, this is what helps. If I win a game, I'm in. If Willow loses a game, I'm in. If Ayuku loses both his games, I'm in. If Vinny loses both his games, I'm in. So yeah, it really, I just seriously, I'm gonna just go ahead and win. Simple as that. But thank you, and this has been Young Sketch Young Flex out.